So I just finished the first season of Arcane, and yeah, man, this show lives up to the hype. This show is really good. Um, yeah, let's just get to the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. So I did not know this show was based off of League of Legends. Like while I was watching the show, I just didn't know. So I kind of came into this show having a lot of consciousness because, bro, I just didn't know how to approach the show because of how it was supposed to be an adaptation of a game or something like that. But as I was getting into the show more and more, I just didn't care about the background of it because, bro, you don't need to know what the game is about to know that this story is just so great to keep up with it, because the story just stands on its own. It kind of unravels itself. You don't even need the game to really give you context because the story is just so good. It could just stand by itself and really unravel, you know, itself, which is pretty interesting and really cool. And yeah, man, this show is anything but simple. Very complex, very compelling. A lot of sides to this story. There's no good guy or bad guy. It's just people that were thrown into conflict and that had to choose a side that they believed was right, and it kind of pinned them against each other. We have the people of Zaun. They're the rejected class of people that were just not treated well by Piltover, which is the upper class city. And we see that the people of Zaun just always wanted to revolt against the people of Piltover because of the unfair treatment that they've received from them, which kind of goes back to why the war was, you know, started. Because, you know what I'm saying, the people of Piltover just viewed Zaun as like a very dangerous and troublesome of the society that they just wanted to weed them out. But of course, Zaun, they definitely didn't give up without a fight, because they actually fought against the Piltover, but obviously they didn't stand a chance due to the lack of firepower. And so Zaun ended up suffering a great loss, basically them losing a huge part of their population, including Vi and Powder's parents, which is really sad, and which caused them to actually be adopted and taken under the wing of Vander, the leader of the Zaunites, which just is really cool and very interesting and very awesome. So yeah, man, we have our characters here. We have Vi, who is the hard-headed, tough, badass character who is very overprotective of her sister. Like, under that tough facade, she has such a soft spot for, you know, her sister Powder. Like, you can just see her like being so serious and stoic, but when her sister is in trouble, or when her sister is shown doing something that could like get her hurt, her tough facade just melts into like this very sweet and overprotective sister. Yeah, man, Vi is just so relatable in so many ways, because as an older brother myself, I would want to protect my younger siblings. So just seeing her, you know, act in the way that she does just really resonates with me, and it's just so freaking cool. And yeah, we just see that throughout the story. Vi just, you know what I'm saying, finds herself in so many situations because of like this. She's just a victim of circumstance, you know, wanting to protect her family, but then of course her family being in danger. Like, we have Vander, for example. Vander is like I said before, he's like their father figure. He's the one that's protecting them. And we kind of see them go at it a little bit, where Vi is kind of upset with Vander because of how she feels that Vander isn't fighting for her nor her people, the Zaunites, but she doesn't understand why Vander is kind of staying put and kind of, you know, standing back, because in her eyes, she believes that Vander isn't putting in the work for the Zaunites. But in Vander's eyes, he's just not trying to recreate the same mistake that led to her parents dying. Because as a leader, he now has people that he needs to protect. He can't just go about starting wars because he can, because now he has responsibility. Now he has kids that he needs to take care of and protect. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want history to repeat itself through them fighting or wanting to go to war against Piltover, because it's just going to bring about nothing but useless bloodshed. See throughout the story, Vi kind of is taught that lesson, but at a cost. The antagonist, Silko. At first, I thought this guy was going to be a very, very run-of-the-mill villain who just wanted to do nothing but destroy the world or whatever. But he's actually a very multi-layered character. Like, he's not somebody that is just evil, but he's morally gray. Like, he feels like in his eyes, what he is doing is right, but of course at a cost. You know what I'm saying? He's going about things the wrong way, but his goal is kind of not the worst. It's not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Because being the overall brother of Vander, he also shared in the same, view that Vander did in the past, wanting to better the society of Zaun, because him and Vander were brothers and they kind of had the same goals and ideals of wanting to make Zaun a better place for people. But of course, the divide between them came once Vander kind of grew into a leader and a family man, and that split kind of grew stronger and stronger. And then we kind of see that the ideologies clash to where Vander doesn't want to, continue starting wars against Piltover anymore. But Vander does, because Vander, similar to Vi, wants, Zaun to really spread their wings and fly. He wants Zaun to prove to Piltover that they're not just some run-of-the-mill society. And so Silko is just trying to do everything he can to make Vander understand that his old way of thinking was the best. But of course, Vander has long and forgotten that, ideal. So basically, it kind of brings them to that split to where Silko just hates this man's guts, and he's doing anything he can to kind of get rid of him in leadership so that he can become the new leader and he can basically do what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Currently, he's just doing everything he can to push Zaun to where he wants it to be. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, we have Powder. Man, Powder just went through a drastic change. She went from being this innocent, loving girl to this insane, kind of broken character because, flash forward to everything that's happened, you know what I'm saying? Powder was just left broken because she felt betrayed by Vi because, let me just give you a brief context. So basically, Vander and Silko end up getting into it again, and Silko's life is actually in danger. Vi and her adoptive siblings come to save the day to try and save Vander, but at a cost because, Vander actually ends up having to sacrifice himself and put himself on the line to protect his kids. And then we see that Powder comes in to kind of help, but they don't know that she's there because Vi specifically told Powder to stay home because she didn't want her getting involved. But Powder came in with those little crystal ball hex things, and she used it to kind of, help. But unfortunately, it caused the explosion that ended up kind of, harming them in the process. And then we see that Vander is left to his own device to protect the family. And so he goes and sacrifices himself to fight against Silko, but unfortunately is caught with the injection, because he ends up falling basically to his death, presumably, but he picks up the syringe and injects himself with the serum in order to protect his family. A last-ditch effort, basically, you know what I'm saying? And so as Silko was going to land the final blow, you know what I'm saying, Vander jumps out of the window, saving Vi. And it's just a really crazy moment. And then we see that Vi is just pretty upset because she sees, Powder, and she's like, bro, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to stay home. And then we just see Vi break down and she freaks out, ends up hitting, Powder. And it was a crazy moment because you would have never expected Vi, of all people, to put her hands on Powder because she's the person that she was always going to protect. So imagine the person that is you're supposed to be protecting, you put your hands on. And man, that's when we just see things go left in the story, because now, in Powder's eyes, the person that was supposed to be protecting her kind of turned her back on her. You know what I'm saying? Was the one that was actually posing that threat to her. And so, yeah, Vi just wanted to leave her and she wanted to go cool down, but unfortunately, she was grabbed up by one of the enforcers, Marcus, and we just see that Powder thinks that Vi just betrayed her. And then unfortunately, Silko and his gang are the ones that find Powder, and seemingly she is taken under their wing, which is just crazy, bruh. This moment right here cemented it had my view. It had my undivided attention. Like, this show is amazing. This moment in the series really showed me why this show is so freaking good, because of the shift and like the turning point and like the subversion of like expectations, like subverting my expectation. I never would have thought that, you know what I'm saying, Powder would be, taken in by the enemy forces, bro. You just didn't expect it, but it ended up happening. And then, yeah, within the series now, flash forward to like the middle to end half of the season, we see that Vi and Powder, it's been a while since they've seen each other. And yeah, now it brings me back to what I was saying before. I'm sorry for that little recap. I just wanted to give you guys some context. But yeah, we see that Powder, now her name is Jinx. She kind of left that identity alone since that time, and we see that now Jinx, she's just a nut job. She's absolutely insane, because after that battle, after that event that took place, it kind of left her really, really, really fucked up in the mind, because she just has these inner voices in her head telling her just different things, just really making her like go crazy. Like, I just can't imagine those intrusive thoughts just playing in your head, having you tell different things. Like, this show also deals with mental health and mental illness so well, because it's so subtle, but it's so powerful. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Jinx goes through a major transformation, and we just see that within the season itself, she's slowly warming up to Vi again, because it seems that now she's slowly regaining her memories, and she's slowly understanding what really happened on that day, and she's finally realizing that it wasn't Vi's fault, and that Silko could have been the issue, because Silko brainwashed her into thinking that Vi was evil and that she was dead. But of course, that wasn't the case. And then we see Vi just really trying to mend things with Powder, which back to the Piltover side of things, and we see that Jayce is an actual scientist who is just really trying to incorporate magic into the world of science in Piltover, because he wants to incorporate the very thing that saved his life many years ago, and he's just trying to pitch his ideas to the council. But of course, they weren't really accepting of this new idea at first, but of course, at the end of the day, they end up actually taking him up on his offer. And flash forward, you know what I'm saying, they're now using magic as their technology, you know what I'm saying. So Jayce, his inventions and his overall goal was C2, and now he's basically known as like the golden boy of Piltover due to creating Hex Tech, which is basically an extension of arcane magic, now being used in like a technological sort of way, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, he's just like respected now amongst the people of Piltover, even becoming a council member. And we just see that his relationship with Mel, one of the counselors, is just so deep, and it's just so freaking good, because we see that Mel was one of the only people that believed in Jayce and his dreams of, you know, magic being a thing in science and technology, and she took a chance on him when nobody did it. So yeah, man, Mel is a keeper, WW character, bro. And then we just see that within the story, Jayce just kind of understands the stances of both Zaun and Piltover, and how Piltover was kind of the bad guys all along, because it's when he goes into Zahn because of what's been going on with like Silko and all that. He sees that Zahn isn't this place that Piltover prompted them up to be, and that they're also like victims of a very, very big circumstance, you know what I'm saying? So Jayce just tries to mend things between Zahn and Piltover, trying to kind of close that gap of conflict between them, because now he wants to help and extend a helping hand to the people of Zahn, something that the people of Piltover never wanted to do. Then we see, you know what I'm saying, Jinx getting closer to the truth about what really happened on that day, and she realizes that Silko, even though he was the issue, she just couldn't bring herself to hate him, because at the end of the day, he took care of her. And it's through Jinx that we see a human side of Silko, because now we see that Silko wasn't actually a bad dude. It's just that he really wanted to protect his people, and that his love grew for Powder, you know what I'm saying, or Jinx, because Jinx was like the top of his priority now, because within the season we just see how he's so worried about her, and how he's doing everything he can to keep her safe, you know, making sure that her name isn't found out, you know, by working with Marcus to keep her safe and keep her name protected. We just see like that human side of Silko, where he actually loves and he actually wants to protect somebody, in of course Jinx, which is so crazy. And then when he dies in the end of the series or the end of the season, it's just a really sour moment, because at first I just didn't think I would like this guy because of how evil he is and how crazy this dude is. But at the end of the day, he is, like I said before, a victim of circumstance, and he is a morally great character. So he's not bad, but he's not good either. So I can't hate the character, and it kind of made me feel the writers knew what they were doing, bro. The music, it kind of made me feel for him when he died, because it just wasn't it wasn't a satisfying death, bro. It just wasn't a satisfying death, because yes, he did do some crazy things, but to know why he did those things, you know what I'm saying, it just kind of came at a bitter moment, you know what I'm saying? So even though yes, he did do some fucked up stuff, I was still saddened by his death, because it was an accidental death too, because you know Jinx, she went off the rails and she just ended up shooting everybody. Unfortunately, the bullet grazed Silko and he ended up dying, which was a very sad moment. And then we basically see at the end of this at the season, she just gets a rocket launcher and just shoots it up at Piltover, assumingly killing everybody there. This season was absolutely insane, bruh. Oh my gosh, bro, I know why this show is so good. Man, I can't believe it took me up until now to watch this show. I don't know why I never watched this show to begin with. It's been out for what, 3 years now, and I'm just checking it out now. But yeah, man, it's better late than never, right? Man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this review was all over the place and this video was all over the place, but yeah, man, I just wanted to just tell you guys my thoughts on this show and how good it was. And I recommend you guys check this show out if you haven't already. It is an amazing show, 10 out of 10. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do plan on making one last video before the year ends, so make sure you guys tune in for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.